they'll be bringing those instructors over. There'll be a training center specific to tennis. We'll have our fitness center in a different part of the resort for all our guests, but there'll be a training area here for tennis folks as well. There'll also be a area to watch, if it's a match, they'll have his matches on. Tennis, or Super Bowl party, that area, kind of like a stadium viewing area for sporting events. And there'll also be other fields for like paddleball or pickleball or some of the other kind of racket sports as well, all hosted within that area.
And Rafa is sponsored by Nike, so there'll be a Nike shot. So even if you don't play tennis, you can still look good for him when he comes.
So that will be opening November 15th. So the resort opens November 11th, or 1st, I'm sorry, but this will be opening November 15th.
And is it a new build?
Yes, brand new
build. Which we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, right, the fonts and how it was constructed.
Yep.
So.
So I see you kind of have some KC wedding stuff. Do you guys book a lot of weddings here? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Mm-hmm. So we actually have consecrated Catholic chapels on all of our properties, except for Jamaica. So here is going to be our new, modern, kind of gaudy style church. Kind of very modern. And here, you kind of see it, there's little windows, so there'll be stainless glass there, so when the sun comes in, it'll be very romantic and zen. So we do have 4 different distinct locations for weddings. We have beach, we have gazebo, garden gazebo, and then when there's bad weather, you can move into our spa.
And we'll do weddings for all, so we don't have any symbolic, religious. We have a special department for East Asian weddings as well, which are very involved. So we have
LGBTQ,
we'll do weddings.
Can you do those in the Dominican?
I believe so.
I think symbolically. I mean, obviously.
Okay.
So, but,
Will you check on that? Because that's when we found some roadblocks in the Dominican with LGBT.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, great question.
Okay.
For that.
I get a prize!
We want this to be obviously engaging, so if you have any questions, feel free to stop us during the process.
Oh, hey, I'm going to take this on my trip tomorrow.
Hey!
Yeah,
Little fan.
Yeah.
Show your viewers what you got over there.
Huh?
Show your viewers what you got.
Oh, my viewers. I have a fan for my trip. Yes. All right. That's awesome, Megan. Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
And the next big feature that we will be talking about is our spa brand, which is called Centropia, which is in all of our properties. And Will's pointing out, it's located really close to the Family Selection. And like we mentioned earlier, Family Selection, all the adults get free access to the hydrotherapy and wet areas of the spa, in addition to everyone in TRS.
And look at the size of the building. I mean, it is, we'll tell you exactly how big in a second, but you can see it's a lot of emphasis went into the spa. I mean, some resorts have a spa as kind of an afterthought, and some guests, I'll go to the spa, but some guests will choose a resort depending on how nice the spa is, and I'm sure you guys have those kind of clients as well. So we think this will compare quite favorably to the rest of the spa destinations.
Is actually 51,000 square feet.
So yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Insane. Would you like to go to that spa?
Oh, absolutely.
I think you can just stay in the spa. Just bring your whole family, just hang out there. It's multi-level, and on top there is an infinity pool. So when you're done with your nice relaxing treatments, you can go up there and hang out.
Where's that one at?
That's going to be the Costa Mujeres property right here.
Yep, it's right across from the Family Selection.
So all resorts have a Centropia spa. This one will be 51,000 square feet. So
Let's go.
Are you familiar with the Scandinavian culture of the sauna?
Yes.
Yes.
So what's the routine? Do you know the routine then?
Do you do the cold before, the ice, and the heat after?
Yes, and then you go back and forth, right?
Well, I didn't do the back and forth.
You want cold and you want straight to hot.
I thought it was
Yeah,
supposed to, well, you're supposed to do the warm, and then you're supposed to hit yourselves with the birch branches, right? And a true Finnish style sauna. We might have that. So, but you had a very important element, the cold. So how do you get cold in Mexico and Cancun?
We've invested $300,000 on having a snow room and cold plunge pool area.
So, right.
So it's going to snow in Cancun.
Yes.
Gosh,
And you can see right there.
This is the rendering of it. So,
hey guys,
yes.
I gotta interrupt you. This fan.
She got
Brand Palladium, and then it's got the little hashtag. Well, TRS Coral Hotel, and then at the hashtag about the
the road to Costa Mujeres.
Road to Costa Mujeres. So guys, see, it reads. Cool, huh?
Is
When
that
it comes to
awesome?
town near you,
I have a
make
question.
sure. Oh, you got a question. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you got it, but that kills them.
Start thinking about other questions before we finish.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, the architecture, everything that you can see is very modern, very up to date, and the building complex. If you look, it's built and situated around a moat. So there is going to be electric-powered water taxis to take you from one end to the other. They'll still have golf carts around the perimeter for some of the things, but the best way to get around from the village, which is where all the shops and restaurants are, to your room would be probably by one of these water taxi boats. And if you, all right, go ahead.
I see you got Disney World over here. You guys book a lot of Disney?
I mean, we book a lot of
Are
Disney.
you guys Disney fans?
We're Disney fans.
All right. So we've got a Disney-esque feature on our property, and if you can guess it, I'll give
got
you
a
a fan.
Now think about the function of the Disney park. What is kind of the secret of the Disney park? What do they have that you don't even know about?
Characters.
No, right, but the characters. But how do the characters get from one end of the park to the other?
Oh, underground.
Right.
They have an
Tunnels.
underground system.
Oh!
What's a fan?
Did he say it? All right, that's definitely fan worthy. This
We're
resort.
gonna give this one to Grandma.
All right,
There you go. Okay. So
Uh,
this resort is built about 9 feet or 3 meters above ground level because there's underground tunnels.
So the staff, the laundry carts, you're not going to see any of that. So, right, so your food, when it's room service, when you get your lobster at 2 in the afternoon, it's not going to be exposed to the elements. It'll be delivered all underground. So it's not for the guests, it's for the staff to make sure that everything is seamless, the experience.
Maybe there'll be some secret tunnel trivia or not trivia, haunted trail nights. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. So that's one of the features. We're a Spanish-owned chain. They've been in business 50 plus years. They put a lot of thought into this resort, and this is kind of going to be our flagship. So
Will kind of mentioned really quickly lobster. Who all, by raise a hand, who likes lobster?
Love lobster.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of another resort delivering lobster to your room as part of room service with no extra charge?
No.
No, right?
Yeah.
So with TRS, you can order lobster for breakfast, lunch, or dinner straight to your room, no charge. It's a nice little feature there. It's a nice little, yeah, you're looking at it. She's got a big lobster bed.
She just had a lobster party last weekend.
we
just flew in lobster from Maine this
From
past
Maine?
weekend.
Hey, you need to fly everybody there
Yeah.
instead of flying the lobster in.
you can entertain
Exactly.
lobster.
And when the bill comes, you'll be like, oh no, I got this. It's all on me.
Yeah.
My treat, my treat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you can buy drinks.
Yeah.
We will talk about
Do all
our.
the rooms get room service?
Room service for the Grand Palladium side ends at 11 p.m. The TRS Coral guest is 24 hours.
Thank you.
So, with,
Sorry, they close at 11 p.m.
For room service on the Grand Palladium side. I think family selection is 24 hours as well, but the rest of the resort, it's 11 p.m. for room service.
and the nice thing about being in TRS and adults only section is you get 24-hour room service in addition to butler service. So there's a lot of premium features that you get with TRS. You get butler service, you get 24-hour room service. Inside your room, you get 4 bottles of premium liquor. So do we have any people that like vodka?
What?
Yeah, vodka. So you get. So if you like vodka, you get 4 bottles
Oh,
of
no, you
Absolute.
said I didn't hear what I thought you said vodka.
No, vodka.
Oh, good.
Or-
Give it to my
Or if you want
17-year-old.
tequila, or tequila like Don Julio.
I like it all.
You like it all? You tell your butler, and they'll put whatever you want, any combination of 4 bottles inside your room. That's for TRS only.
Right. So
And on the Grand Palladium side, the fridges.
mini fridge is stacked with beers, local beers, and also American beers. The restaurants at all the Grand Palladium resorts, they have the local beer on tap. Jamaica's Red Stripe, Mexico's Mexican beer. However, in the mini bars, some folks are real loyal to their brand of beer. They'll have American beers in the mini bar, and if they're a Bud person and there's Miller in there, they'll swap them out. So you can get American beers in the mini bar, but the rest of the resort, it's the local beer that's served.
So those
And
are
TRS is going to have the top shelf premium alcohol, like you said, in the room, and you can swap out whatever bottle you like.
And all of these are all inclusive.
inclusive.
Yes.
And then,
Mhm.
so when this pulls up on Vax, will it say Palladium TRS or will it just say TRS?
It's the center TRS. If you do the back search, it's TRS, and it'll pull up the Coral, the Turquesa, and the Yucatan. And if you pull up Grand Palladium, Costa Mujeres, there'll be a subcategory for family selection.
Oh, okay.
So,
And some other premium features with TRS, you get a pillow menu. So if you like memory foam pillows or latex or feathers, you can pick whatever pillows you want.
and the first question that your butler asks you when you get to your room is, somebody guesses this is fan worthy, but it's going to be pretty tough. Which scent would you like? So there's what a Sensei is.
So are you guys familiar with Sensi?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a Sensi-like feature. So he'll ask you what your scent or your aroma will be for the week, and you can plug it into the room. Oh, he'll do it for you, and then you have that.
That's kind of fun.
First impressions are everything, right? So even first smells.
That's true, that's true.
And then we've also launched a Uber-style app for our golf carts. We've launched this in our TRS brand, since we're TRS only. So there's special golf carts that just for TRS guests, so you won't have Grand Palladium or have kids jumping on your golf cart. So just a premium feature.
and go to the other side.
Yep, you go down that, and I'll be like, they'll say, "Hi, my name's Jose. I'm 3 minutes away." And you can track his progress. And if he stops at the bar, and you'd be like, "Well, where's my drink?" And then he can pick you up from anywhere on the resorts if you want to be picked up at your Bali bed, or if you want to pick up the pool and take him to the restaurants, they'll do that for you. So like I said, we've totally rebranded it. Very technological savvy, easy access, and for comfort. You get lobster in your room, you get picked up special golf carts, you get all that.
And part of the reason we were able to get the leading hotels of the world accreditation before we even opened, because they saw what we did at the TRS Yucatan product, and we're going to implement all these things here. And like I mentioned before, the interactive TV, so you can order your room service or your golf cart right through your remote control on your TV, and other functions. Well, anything the butler can do, you can do yourself. Also, if you download a movie onto your phone when you're watching, you want to finish watching in your room, you're able to project that onto the TV, so you don't have to watch it off your phone. And vice versa, anything on the TV, when you go to the pool, it's able to project it out to, as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi, project it out to where you're at the pool, so you can watch your TV from the room at the pool on your phone.
So if your husband doesn't want to leave the room, or you don't want to leave your room because there's a big sport game on, don't worry, you can take it with you. And the vodka, right?
That needs to stay in the room, but the premium bottles.
You know what's funny though? So we're out of the country, and his brother is like 3 years older, 2.5. And Noah gets asked if he wants champagne, and Jake gets asked if he'd like a soda. Yeah, your little brother. Jake's like, that is just bullshit.
So inside on the map right here is the village. That's where the restaurants, bars, entertainment is for Grand Palladium. There's 9 a la carte restaurants there, as well as shopping. And we also have an outdoor amphitheater. Kind of looks like something you'd find in Australia, right? Very modern, sleek. And here it's an outdoor amphitheater, 360 degrees, seats about 450 to 500 people. And there'll be other entertainment such as concerts and shows, in addition to
The Sheep Cabaret as well. That's a different venue, so it's a specific venue for just Sheep Cabaret, and this is going to be for the rest of the entertainment. Our People Palladium program, our entertainment program, that will be putting on shows here, family friendly for everybody.
Any questions about kind of the village, the bars, restaurants, entertainment? Everyone's good. Everyone's excited.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
if she's thinking about questions, so you guys have fans.
What about groups?
Well, the great thing about this
Great
resort is groups are going to be checked into their own groups lobby. So, what's worse, you arrive and then there's a huge group in front of you, it takes forever to check in. Groups are all going to be checked in to their own check-in area, both TRS Coral and at Grand Palladium Costa Mujeres. And we're going to have a meeting and convention facilities.
And it seats up to about 1,200 people.
So, yeah, there'll be room for any kind of groups, meetings, conventions. And the amphitheater can be used for big presentations as well, depending on how big the group gets.
And another new feature what do you like to do when you go out to? Are you of drinking age, by the way?
No.
That's funny.
I hope not. Jeez, he already knows all the questions up.
He's about 4 months shy of 18.
Oh, okay. So a lot of younger people, or people in general, they like to go to rooftop bars, right? Have a drink on rooftop, enjoy
Oh, yeah.
the views. So we've actually launched 2 rooftop bars at our property, one in TRS